30 Geoguessr tips for Canada ranging from easy to difficult to help you make better guesses. Canada has two national languages, English and French. English is used everywhere in the country except for in Quebec, where they use French. French can also be found in the province of New Brunswick. Canada uses the metric system, whereas the US does not. So any sign with a distance, or temperature, or any of the sort would be labeled with meters, kilometers, Celsius, and so on. Whenever you're on a T intersection in Canada, there's a good chance you'll see this sign with the checkered pattern around its outsides, whereas in the US, there's no checkered pattern at all. Only exception to this is in the province of Quebec. Speaking of the speed limit signs from earlier, the text on Canadian signs will always be maximum. In the US, the signs say speed limit. Most road signs often have less or no text in Canada, especially compared to the US. Examples include the railway crossings and do not enter signs. Canada uses yellow center road lines and white outer lines. The center road line can be single or double or even striped. An important note is that it is more common in the US to see double road lines, and in Canada it is more common to have a single road line. Canada uses short license plate, just like the US. These states, however, require vehicles to have front license plates. Exception being New Brunswick, where you're no longer required since 2019, but you still may see older vehicles with front license plates. Canadian chevrons are black on yellow, except in the province of Quebec, where they are white and red. Canada uses the standard stop sign, except in Quebec, where they say arrêt instead of stop. This is important because not even France says arrêt. In New Brunswick, stop signs are often bilingual, saying French and English. The province of Alberta has this unique bollard with two black stripes and a white stripe in the middle. In British Columbia, the white stripe is a lot wider, with a bit of white on the top too. In Manitoba, these two designs are used most commonly. The insulators on the pole tops in Saskatchewan are alternating, with two on one side and one on the other, alternating per pole. In British Columbia, you can find hanging road signs from the signposts. Also, road signs can have a green back. This is also common on Prince Edward Island. Speaking of Prince Edward Island, the place can be recognized by having a slight red tint in the soil, potato farming being common, and for some reason, at the time Google covered the island, all the grass there seemed to be freshly mowed. Take this tip with a grain of salt though, it's not always going to work. Some signposts in Manitoba will have these green and white stripes on them. In Saskatchewan, you can find these white triangles on the signposts. The number of triangles will vary. Most of the mountains you find in Canada are in the west, stretching all the way north. These trees, called the balsam fir, look a lot like Christmas trees. They are found on Newfoundland. Wooden bins can be found in driveways in Newfoundland. They are usually octagonal, but can be other shapes as well. This image is useful for the southern part of Canada, where most people live. It tends to be more hilly the further north you go, and more foresty the further east you go. Again, take this tip with a grain of salt, it's not always going to be true. Pole tops in Quebec have the insulator rods angling slightly upward. You can see that they're not fully on a 90-degree angle, they angle slightly upward. In northern Manitoba, you will often find these trees with thin, birch-like trunks. In the autumn, the leaves turn a yellow-orange. There is a highway in the northwest of the country called the Dempster Highway. It has very dark soil and thin trees with pretty hilly landscape all the way except in the very north. The most prominent mountains in all of Canada are on the border of Alberta and British Columbia in the south, in Banff and Jasper National Park. All the peaks are quite rocky and sharp here. You are almost guaranteed to see snow at the top of these mountains. These lampposts with a unique curved design are specific to the city of Toronto. A lot of cities in Quebec have their own unique street signs. Montreal has this unique flower logo design on most of its signs. Quebec City has this plain white sign with black text. And Trois-Rivières has these green signs with white text. In the province of Alberta, the city of Edmonton has small holes and a cap on the back of its stop signs, whereas Calgary does not. This road in Newfoundland, called the NL 430, is very distinct, as it always has the ocean to the west and trees to the east, specifically the low pine trees. The area around the town of Drumheller in Alberta has a lot of these treeless hills and looks somewhat reminiscent of the landscape found in the country of Lesotho. If you're trying to distinguish cities inside of Ontario, you can look at the fire hydrants. Toronto has yellow hydrants with blue rings, Ottawa's have blue tops, Thunder Bay has plain yellow designs, sometimes faded in color, and Mississauga has these red fire hydrants. And finally, for the most nerdy tip of the entire video, you will probably never have to use this, but I'm going to share it anyway. As of July 2025, if you find yourself in Canada with 2025 copyright and a black Google car, you are going to be in one of three places: Southern Manitoba, Southern New Brunswick, and Northern Newfoundland. Thank you all for watching the video.